Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special event. Welcome to the Financial Modelling World Cup 8-player battle. Now, this battle is the first of its kind throughout the world. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Danielle Stein-Fairhurst, and I am your co-host for this evening. Now, we have got 8 participants waiting to compete in this incredible battle. It is the 8th of June. We have 8 participants from 8 different countries. Now, my co-host today is Adam Callens from Microsoft. Hi, Adam, how are you? Are you ready?
Hi, Danielle. Yes, I am ready, and I am very excited to be here. And this is my first time participating in a Financial Modeling World Cup challenge. So I'm very, very excited to be here.
Yeah, now you are a gaming specialist. I'm a financial modeling specialist, and together we are going to co-host this very special event. So I'm a financial modeling specialist. Financial modeling is my world. It's pretty much all I've ever done. I've written several books about financial modeling. Adam, tell us a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. So I've been with Microsoft for quite a few years now, and I've actually spent time both in Office and in Xbox. So I have experience with interactive video, live videos, worked in esports a bit as well, worked several years on Halo, so I'm still repping the chief. And now I'm back on the Excel team with a lot of focus on collaboration, so helping people work together in spreadsheets. Although today, right, it's going to be I'll call it our anti-collaboration, right, like our head-to-head battle, and I'm excited to see the outcome.
Yeah, so you have lots of experience in the Excel product as well as gaming experience. So yeah, this is going to be so much fun. So Microsoft is is a sponsor for the Financial Modeling World Cup, and we're going to be hearing a little bit more about from the sponsors a little later on. And yeah, so this is a really exciting event. It's hosted by Financial Modeling World Cup. It is the premier financial modeling event. It is the most frequent financial modeling event. Now, every month, financial modelers get together, they compete, they train, they learn all about financial modeling. So this is just such an incredible event to be a part of. So I'm going to introduce Andrew Grigolunovic, who is from AG Capital, also one of the sponsors. So he's going to tell us a little bit about the event. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Daniel. Hi, it's nice to be here. Well, that's a great event, and it's great that we have set up this exhibitional battle, so we are able to bring in all these nice top modelers from all over the world just to show what could be done in Excel, how fast people can work, and what miracles could happen.
Absolutely. So we are just about ready to go. I think we are going to firstly introduce some of our participants. So first of all, Adam, would you like to introduce our first couple of participants?
Yes. So I think first off we have Andrew coming to us from the UK. Hello, Andrew. Thanks for joining us. Very excited to have you here and participating. Andrew brings 11 years of experience in financial modeling. And if I recall correctly, you were the 2019 Financial Modeling World Cup champion. So very excited to have Andrew with us. Next up, we have Michael coming to us from Canada. We got a great shot. I'm loving this view, by the way, Michael. I feel like you're in like this nice theater room, like you've got your whole setup there, looking comfortable and ready to hit it. And we're going to have to check in with you later because we've been very curious on our side which of the 3.5 thousand beers was your personal favorite. So we'll check in with you on a little bit on that.
Next up, we have got Gabriela Stroj. She is joining us from Warsaw in Poland. She's actually, I know Gabriela from the Women in Financial Modeling group, the online community that I run. Now, Gabriela is always a very active participant of this community and always really keen to share her knowledge. One of her many claims to fame is that she's read 41 books in the last 12 months. I love the use of a nice little financial acronym there. That's fantastic, Gabriela. So next up, we have Anup Agarwal. Now, Anup is one of the world's top financial modelers. He was actually one of the authors of a case in the Financial Modeling World Cup, a rather a curly one, if I can recall. So Anup is representing India, and he says that his favorite formula or function is the sum product function.
Awesome. Next up, we have Jeff coming to us from Malaysia. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. Very excited to have you participating as well. And also, I think for Jeff, not his first competition. And I love that you're bringing the Wall Street dream to the competition. So looking forward to having you, Jeff. Next, we have Danielle from your neck of the woods, John Lim, joining us from Australia. John, excited to have you here. Looking forward to seeing you in the competition as well. And oh, that's right. So John is our Lego fan. So absolutely really looking forward to seeing how he brings his analytical plus creative approach to solving problems here today.
And next we have Jason Weber. So Jason is, he says his biggest achievement is placing 11th overall and the first in Africa in last year's season of the Financial Modeling World Cup. So congratulations on that, Jason. He's based in Johannesburg, and he says that his favorite function, one of my favorites, is the sum ifs formula. Jason is also quite an active member of the financial modeling community. So welcome, Jason. Good luck. So next we have Stephanie Annerose. So Stephanie is also a member of the Women in Financial Modeling group. Also, she has very much attended a lot of sessions as well as given us some presentations and given us a few tips on how to compete in the Financial Modeling World Cup. We all get together and we train and look at tips and tricks for how to compete every month in the Financial Modeling World Cup. She's been financial modeling for more than 10 years, and she can actually model and negotiate contracts in 3 different countries. So she's representing the US, but she's from the Caribbean. Her favorite formula is the sum if product. So welcome, Stephanie, and good luck to you as well.
But Danielle, I have a question for you, because the Twitterverse blew up a little bit over the last few days.
It did.
And one of the false rumors that was spread is that this competition was a gimmick created by Microsoft. Now, I'm actually on the Excel team at Microsoft, so I know everyone who works on Excel, and that's not the case. This is not, Microsoft is a sponsor, but not a creator of this. And I think, some folks from the Excel team have been helping out recently, just trying to see this be successful. But can you kind of fill us in who actually created the Financial Modeling World Cup? Who's the entity behind this?
Well, it really goes to show you can't believe everything that you read on Twitter. So according to Twitter, Microsoft created the Financial Modeling World Cup. That is not true. It is the AG Capital, one of the sponsors, and our very own Andrew Grigalinovich, who we'll hear from shortly, was the founder of the Financial Modeling World Cup. He is the one that's organizing it. This Microsoft is a sponsor. Also, according to Twitter, I'm an employee of Microsoft. Oh, lovely. I want one of those, Adam. I'm not an employee of I'm an independent consultant. I am a Microsoft. I recently became a Microsoft MVP. So, okay, well, I think we're just about ready to go. What's next? So I think we are going to hear from Andrew again. Is that right, Andrew? We're going to Andrew, our founder of the Financial Modeling World Cup, is going to introduce the case.
That's correct, Daniel. So let's see what's up to what the guys are up to today. So our today's case is named A Cake to Bake. So that's a funny name for a company that's a Latvian company. Imagine a Latvian company that produces cakes, sweets, and other tasty, maybe not that healthy goods. And this company serves exactly 8 export markets. The countries like the United States, UK, Malaysia, South Africa, actually all the 8 countries that are represented today in the battle. And nothing is being served on the local market somehow, but still they report in euros. So the players will have to do revenue and production cost modeling for today. They will have to forecast sales in foreign currency, convert back to euro. They will also have to model things like shipping costs, like labor costs, manufacturing costs, and there will be quite some interesting traps and maybe tactical advantages that one could gain. There will be a total of 21 questions worth 1,000 points, and the questions, they have different points values. So probably the easier questions might bring you less points, the harder might bring you more. The case is designed to be solved in 40 minutes or more, but if you can create it finished earlier, then you get 10 time bonus points. So 10 points for every full minute saved. So if you finish at like 38 minutes, 29 seconds, you're gonna get 10 bonus points for 1 full minute saved. However, the time bonus is given only if the player has scored correctly at least 900 regular points, because otherwise somebody could stop the clock right now straight from the start and get 400 points. Could be not that bad solution for one. So it's going to be quite some modeling for the participants today, and the key to win is first the model layout, the good architecture of your financial model. The second, wise tactics. I would imagine that Excel shortcuts, very fast speed, that could be a bonus for someone, but that's not going to be something that's going to decide the outcome today. Actually, the winner will be the one with the best, flow of the model, the best construction of the model. So no specific knowledge of the industry is required here. So any viewer can just log into our website, to our fmworldcup.com website, and download the case. And you might just try to compete with the guys. Maybe you can solve the case faster than they do. Let's see how it goes, and good luck, everyone. Good luck to the participants.
Okay, I think we're just about ready to go. Shall we get started, everybody?
All right, can I
so what's going to happen?
A couple things real quick, Danielle.
Okay.
So for those folks watching on YouTube, by the way, we're over 2,000 viewers. We're pushing 3,000 live viewers. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I am watching the chat. So if you're dropping questions there, part of our team is also responding to the chat, but I'm going to try to keep like one eye on it as well. So if you have questions there and you're watching on YouTube, please drop those questions in. Love to see the positive energy, lots of rooting. And I see lots of folks tuning in from around the world, rooting for the representative for their country. So each of you just know that you're getting a lot of love on YouTube, which is really hard to do, to get love on YouTube. So each of you should feel super proud right now. But absolutely, for our fans watching on YouTube, drop questions in there. We'll try to keep an eye on them. And yes, participants are allowed to use the mouse. That was already like a top line question. There's no limitations on inputs. Keyboard shortcuts, of course, I think lots of people are going to be using them. But there you go. See, and mice as well. So.
Fantastic. Okay, I think we're gonna jump straight in and get going. So what's going to happen is that they're going to be working in Excel, and we're going to be able to see what they're doing. Let's go. And your time starts now.
Recording in progress.
So they have started, and I can imagine that just those first couple of minutes, you know, those first few minutes when you see a case for the first time, when you see a financial model problem for the first time, particularly under these kind of scenarios in this sort of stressful, time-pressured environment, it's those first couple of minutes that is just so important, being able to get to grips with the problem, you know, trying to really understand what the case is all about. So we should be able, we're going to keep an eye on what's happening. So it seems that I might just sort of walk through some of that just whilst, because not a huge amount is going to happen in these first couple of minutes, because for those first couple of minutes, it's all going to be, they're going to be reading the case. They're going to be they're not going to start modelling straight away. They have started straight away. They have already started. They're going to start modelling as soon as they've thought about the design, and the layout is absolutely critical. A lot of financial models, you know, you can get such an advantage in a competition like this if you have very good design. So design is absolutely critical. So at the moment, we're looking at Stephanie's screen, and I can see that she's already started. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to talk through the case, just to tell you guys who are watching just a little bit more about what this case is about. Now, it's a really interesting, I don't know if you know this, Adam. Have you ever heard of cake to bake before? Have you ever heard that?
I have not. So this is my first time.
I actually only learned this today, but cake to bake is actually the name of a Eurovision song that Latvia entered back in 2014. So there you go. There's a little bit of for you. Yeah. Did you watch Eurovision? Are you into it?
I'm unfamiliar with it.
Yeah. Eurovision is huge. We watch it in Australia. Australia actually competes. So that's the name of a song. So the name is Cake to Bake, and what the case is, it's mostly a revenue and manufacturing cost modelling. It produces cake, sweets, candies, and cookies, as Andrew mentioned. It's located in Latvia, but there's 8 foreign markets. The Cake to Bake plans to make an IPO at the end of 2021. And the company's finance department is currently preparing a pitch deck and a long-term financial model. So what the competitors have to do is to be a financial modelling consultants to help the finance team. So they have to create detailed projections for sales and direct manufacturing costs for the next 5 years. So the instructions tell them that you have to create a 5-year monthly cost. And this is actually quite typical. So the Financial Modelling World Cup runs every month. The next one is coming up, I think, on the 25th of June. It's run over the weekend. So you get, you've got 2 hours, and it's really typical of questions like this. The participants have been given their assumptions, and they have to submit the answers. They have to type in the answers. And that will all be tabulated and shown on the answer sheet. So it's all going to be pulled together in links. Now, one of the things that's really important, I can see we're looking at Michael's screen right now, and I can see that he's already done a couple of them. And this first question here, how many people were living in India at the end of 2019? Now that one's a pretty easy. Now these questions some of them are really easy and some of them are pretty difficult. And it's actually using data types. So maybe, Adam, can you tell us a little bit about data types? A fairly new feature to Excel. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about data types and how they work.
Absolutely. How they work. Now you're asking deep questions. So data types is a newer feature to Excel. And a question I'll get a lot of times is folks will go try to do this and they'll say, hey, I don't see this in my version of Excel. So This is newer. So if you're on a version of Excel, say like Excel 2016, you're not going to see it. So just always got to like caveat that you want to be on a more recent version, something within the last year, and you'll see this feature. What this feature allows you to do is add depth and additional data to a single cell within Excel. And on its simplest form, or not necessarily simplest form, but one of the things the Excel team has gone and done is partnered with Wolfram Alpha as a data provider. So in the case here, you can put in, as you're seeing the contestants do here, you see Michael, he's got Australia, Canada, India, Malaysia, Poland, South Africa, United Kingdom, United States. These are in here as data types. Now, when he references these cells, he's not just referencing that string that says Australia. He can actually reference data that's lying within that data type Australia. So for example, population is going to be one of the things within that. And so he can actually, he can refer to that in a formula and specifically pull out the population data and not have to have that sitting on the worksheet somewhere else or linked in another location. Another reason this is really helpful is within an enterprise, say a business wants to have a customer. You can now pull in a customer into an individual cell, and then you can refer to things about that customer within your worksheet. So maybe sales data, revenue, forecast, other information that you're tracking about your customers. Now you can put that there. You can reference that somewhere else in the worksheet. And it's really about simplifying and organizing and making it easier for you to get at data. Super excited about data types.
Right.
Lots more coming in this space. We've
I
actually
know
seen a
they're
lot of
really
people building,
focusing.
absolutely building like meal plans and doing really awesome stuff with it. So I'm very excited about it. The team's invested a ton in it. And I'm so happy to see it like showing up here already in the World Cup. So this is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great use case to show what data types can really do. Now, don't forget, you do need to be connected to the internet to get it to work, and of course, you need to be using the latest Microsoft 365 to be able to use data types. And what they're doing here is they're picking up the population and assumptions, and they're using the assumptions that are in the model, and they're using that to forecast forward. So this is a really good use case of using some of these features. So just having a look, for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, you can see across the bottom of the screen, we've got our live scores that are updating. So as people, they're using Excel online. It's all connected, and it's all connected, of course, to the scoreboard. We're calculating all of the scores in Excel, of course, and it's updating in real time. Now you can see that there's quite a difference between the scores, and you can see that some people are, oh wow, it's changing quite rapidly. Don't be fooled. So those people who have not scored yet, it doesn't mean that they're not going to do well. So yes, we can see here now. This is the scoreboard. Now you can see that, wow, Michael Jarman has actually answered 4 questions, and so that's why he's got 200 points already. Andrew Ngai is behind him. And yeah, so those people who haven't actually put it in yet, it means that they could be building the design, or they could be working on their layout. There's very different tactics in how you go ahead and build these financial models. It is quite, everybody, different participants do approach it quite differently. Some people spend a lot of time just setting it all up, and then they just go through and answer all of the questions, whereas some people will answer as you go. I know that there's a couple of participants that will be going for the bonus points, the time. If you finish early, you get a time bonus. So one of the way that, sorry.
And Danielle, a couple things. So I'm seeing a couple things in the chat. We've had so much traffic to the Financial Modeling World Cup website that the website actually went down. Like folks were going, they were trying to download the case file and follow along themselves. So if you're watching this, you're not able, like we see that the team is working on getting that back up. They're looking at how we can get those files out. So bear with us. We just had this awesome, really strong response. So absolutely, like really appreciate everyone, who's here and participating. A question.
I know there was a,
okay.
Yeah, there was a bit of an outage today on some cloud services, which has caused quite a few new news sites to go down. And I must admit, as soon as I saw that, I thought, obviously, it's because there's been so much interest in the financial modelling World Cup battle, but I don't know about that.
And Danielle, a question for you.
Yeah.
Like being someone who doesn't like live and work in the financial modeling space, when you get a case like this, and I do recognize, right, part of it's speed. What are you looking for first? Are you just like scanning and pulling out key numbers? Are you like laying a strategy? It feels like folks jumped in really fast from my perspective. What are your first steps when you're building a model?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, as I said, everybody has a slightly different strategy, but yeah, and the assumptions are really important. And I think, you read the case, you have a look through, when you're working for a client, it's really important to get everything out of their heads and to really understand the case really well. But in a situation like this, you just got to jump in and start modeling, and it's really time is really of the essence here. So yeah, it's the design is critical in this one. The design is if they don't, there's a couple of little tricks in this one that I've seen. Getting it, I can see they've got an opening. So we're looking at Anup's screen now. He's got a start date and an end date, which is great. The way he's set that up. There is a bit of a few questions when you're going to have a look at a slightly different time frame. So that might cause a few issues here. But yeah, I was wondering actually, Adam, maybe you could tell us a little bit about how the Excel Online works and the sharing, because I know that's quite a new feature of Excel as well.
It is, and I am so glad you asked, because we're always working to dispel rumors as well. So Excel Online is an extension of, right, the Excel app that we have built. And when I say extension of, I say really it lives completely in the web. So you can do many of the core Excel functions right there in the web. There's some great advantages to working in the web app. First and foremost, you're always working in the latest version of Excel. One of the biggest challenges we see is we'll talk with customers, they might see a couple of bugs or some issues, and it's things we've already fixed. And so now we're talking about how do we get you those fixes, get you updated. When you're working in the web, you're always working in the latest version. So that's a big one as well. The collaboration pieces, which obviously I'm very concerned with, also function really well there. So when you're working in the web, all those pieces are built from the ground up to be collaborative. One of the challenges that I deal with on a daily basis is the fact that this is a tool that's existed for a long time. There's so many things you can do in Excel, and getting that to work in a collaborative fashion and quickly and getting everyone up to date. There's lots of these challenges here. So so that's the kind of world that I live in, like always trying to get that to work. But the desktop app as well is built to be collaborative. So you can share with people from there. Multiple people can be in the document at the same time. And then you can actually work with others within that document.
And tell us a little bit about the versions, about the tracking changes that's and the threaded comments and the conversations, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. So over the last, let's say like 2 to 3 years, the team has put a lot of work into building out tools that make it easier to work with other people within the Excel app. So one of those is we completely rebuilt how we do comments we call them modern comments internally, but we completely rebuilt how we do comments. So previously you kind of had these floating notes. Now it's in a pane on the side. You can actually see what it's linked to. And within, say, like your business, your enterprise, you can actually @mention other people. So you, when you do that, that person actually gets a notification, hey, there's a comment referring to you, and you can just click a link in your email and go straight to it. We're actually building features as well, and I believe this might be completely available now, where you can actually see the comment in your email and Outlook, and you can just reply, you can respond to it right there if you know the response. So So there's been a lot of work there to make them
Cool.
more collaborative and quickly collaborative as well.
Fantastic. And I do like the feature with the threaded comments, or the, what do you call them? The other types of comments, is that you can resolve the thread. So you can create a thread, like you would do,
Absolutely.
a message chat, and then when that, so you have maybe some questions about the data that's in the cell, and when somebody answers those questions, then you can resolve that thread, and which is absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. So we have thread resolution, and that's a huge piece as well. And I think that's really helpful to people, as you point out, like when you're working and like someone's mentioned you and you responded to it, now you can resolve that and people know, okay, we've put that issue to rest, and then we can go ahead and look at the other pieces there. There's another piece that you mentioned, which is the track changes. And this is, believe it or not, actually like new for Excel. It's existed in Word for a long time. But this idea that, hey, we can actually see what people have done in the app or in the workbook is newer for Excel. And it's a huge feature. It's actually been very challenging because there's so many different things you can do in Excel for us to like track that and show that. And I'm super proud of the work that the team has done. So that's another one. That's like a latest and greatest feature. So you really have to be on a recent build. But especially in the web app, you can see that today. And we'd love folks get in there, use it, give us feedback. But today, now, you think about like auditing workbooks or seeing who made these changes, who edited this cell, you can now see that today in the app, and super proud of the work the team has done.
So I can see we're having a look at Jason Weber's screen now. So he is he's at the part now where he's had to calculate the number of units. So the way that this model has been set up, I can see he's got months across the top, and everything has been calculated based on the countries. So he set that up there. So yeah, we might jump over. Why don't we jump over to Andrew Ngai's screen first of all, and let's check in on Andrew. So I know Andrew's a pretty fast modeler. Now it really is about, a lot of it is about speed. Speed is really critical. If you want to do well in a competition like this, you've got to be fast. And it's not just mechanical. It's not just keyboard shortcuts and modeling as quickly as you can. It's about speed of thought. So being able to get the logic. Wow. Okay. So Andrew is already at the stage where he has gone from monthly. He's now actually modeling it on a daily basis. So with this, I might just go through and I just go into a little bit more now that we're a little bit further on through the case. So the way that this model works is that we start out with the number of units, and there's some seasonality in that case. So that's on a monthly basis. We then do the population and do some forecast population. There's some assumptions to do with interest as well as population growth. We then have a look at sales and some of these questions that you can see here on Andrew's screen. So he's at what will be the euro-dominated unit sale price. So it's basically what you do is you build out the model, and then and this is quite typical in the monthly competitions, is that it'll ask you one question. So it's saying, in 2026, so it's asking, one thing. And what the participants need to do here is to go down to the exact decimal place, and it's either right or it's wrong. So they've got to get, so in terms to get scoring. In the monthly cases, we usually get a multiple choice. So you get to choose which answer you think is correct. The assumptions are really important. So there's sales, there's materials, and then there's shipping, manufacturing, and also labor costs. Now the labor costs, it gets pretty complex when you get down to the labor costs, because there's 3 different shifts, and they all start, and there's rates, shifts on work days, there's Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, and of course each of those is different in different regions. And so you can see here on Andrew's screen, this is what he's doing. He's using the ones and zeros. So ones and zeros are really, really useful in financial modeling. So I can see he's used a match function. Yeah, so he's used an if and a match. And then sometimes that match will return an error. And so he's then nested that within an if error to stop that error from throwing up, from becoming an error and messing up his model. Wow. Okay. He's Andrew has progressed really, really well. This is amazing. Okay. Let's jump over to the next screen. Let's have a look at how Michael from Canada is doing. Okay, we can see Michael Jarman. Okay, all right. We can see Michael Jarman's screen now. Okay, he's also progressing quite well. So he's got some flags. So a bit of a yeah. So he's got the year number. He's also done the price, the revenue. Okay, so he's worked out the days in the month. So yeah, that's great. So he's he's used a weekday function there. He's also calculated the shipments. Okay, we've got a few errors showing up there. Okay, this is great. This is great. So yeah, okay. See his assumptions there. So he's obviously working on the daily rates as well. Okay.
And right now we're looking at Michael Jarman's.
Yes.
From Canada. So that's who we're looking at. There's this question keeps coming up on the YouTube comments as well. It's kind of like, hey, like who's are we looking at? And then also I saw some great questions over here, by the way. And one of them was, can we see the participants' hands? So we're not supporting that yet. It's definitely feedback we've given. I think, from the esports world, it's always awesome to be able to see like, what are people doing? And being someone who's
see that. Yeah,
and Danielle, like I've met true like financial wizards in Excel, which are way better than I am, and they're just so fast in the keyboard shortcuts they use. So I love the commentary over here. Thank you, YouTube, for the comments and the thoughts on that as well. Would love to see us doing that kind of thing in the future. Danielle also had a question over here. How can folks who are interested learn or get started? Like, are there great YouTube channels or books or classes or any recommendations for someone who says, hey, I want to learn more about this and understand what goes into financial modeling? How does a beginner become better than a beginner?
Yeah. Great question. There's loads of YouTube videos, of course, and how to get started in financial modeling. Of course, to become a really good financial modeler, there's a lot more to it than just Excel. I mean, you need to be good at Excel. You need to have really good Excel skills to be a good financial modeler. But there's a lot of other stuff you need to understand. You've got the finance background. You've got to sort of understand how to model inflation, how to all of this sort of how to put together an income statement, a balance sheet, a cash flow statement, all of that sort of thing, all of this sort of finance background as well. So I wrote a financial modeling for dummies book. So that, of course, is a great place to get started. I would say, though, for people wanting to compete in the Financial Modeling World Cup, give it a go. Give it a go. It is not for beginners. I would not say it's a good place to start. But once you're feeling reasonably comfortable with your financial modeling skills, anybody can compete in the Financial Modeling World Cup. And you know what? It's a great place to learn. You give it a go. You've got 2 hours. You have 3 cases, and when you've finished, you will be sent the completed version. So having a chance to go through that is a really great place. So we are looking at Stephanie Annerose's screen now. So she is having a look at the local currency. So she's created a separate tab there. Okay, all right. Maybe we can have a little bit of a look around her model, see how she's going. I can see she's got her demand. Yeah, some really good formatting here. So you can see one of the things that makes a really good financial modeler is having is making it really clear what is a hard-coded number and what is a formula. So, you can see here that Stephanie has linked her assumptions. So she's linked directly through to the assumptions tab, and she's made that really clear in blue font. So, and that's a fairly common used standard. It kind of goes back to the DOS days of having any kind of input variables, anything that can change in blue font. And that's your signal to a user or to another modeler that this is an input, this is an assumption, it's something that possibly could change. And you can see that the rest of the model is formatted differently. So we might jump over to Gabriela's screen now and see how she is coming along. Oh, some nice different colors here. Okay, this is great. She's got a bit of grouping going on. Yeah, quite a different looking model. Everybody has their own stamp on it. Yeah, so you can see she's also got the population going on. Yep, this is great. Okay.
Now, Danielle, I know looking at this, there is definitely like a little bit of kind of style. Is there a reason for that? For example, it seemed like Gabriela had some of the grid lines turned off, so like it just like looks cleaner, some color there to separate things. Is that just personal preference, or is there like a method to it that actually gives her an edge?
Well, yeah, it is a personal thing. Turning off the grid lines is really nice. It makes your model look really nice. When you're actually building the model, though, I know a lot of modelers like to put the grid lines in because it kind of helps you when you're aligning charts and images and things like that. But it does look, generally what modelers do is they'll build the model and then they'll put the grid lines, get rid of the grid lines afterwards. And I do like her pretty colors there. That looks great. That's very cool. And yeah, maybe we jump over now. I have a look at the next participant. Perhaps we see how Anup is going. So wow, okay, Anup's, yeah, he's doing really well. Okay. You can see how he's got euro price, having it really clearly stated. You can see he's got one single column for the currency, so showing that they're all euros. That's a really good practice to have. And you can see he's converted everything into euros, which is great. Okay. Very different sort of look and feel to Anup's model. Okay. All right, maybe we jump over and see how Jeff is doing. So Jeff is doing quite well. Jeff is, he's on 500 points. He is currently ranking third. So Jeff is, yeah, so he's also down to the daily. He's doing the daily modeling as well. Yeah. Okay, we're back on Anup's screen now.
I think we're refreshing Jeff's workbook, so we went to Anup slightly for a moment.
Okay. Okay, cool. And wow, actually, Gabriela is in the lead now. I'm just having a look at the scoreboard. Okay, they're sort of moving around quite a bit. Have you been keeping an eye on the scores, Adam?
I have a little bit, and I was kind of curious about that. Like, again, I'm not super experienced in financial modeling, so is it that I'm kind of curious, do folks like set up a framework and then we should expect to see a lot of answers roll in quickly, or are they like answering one question at a time? Does everyone do it a little bit different? Like, help me understand a little bit.
Yeah, the way that the questions are set up, they kind of generally sort of work through sequentially throughout the model. So most people spend a lot of time setting up the model first of all, but then they might answer a couple of questions and then they'll do a little bit more. So you'll sort of see probably the answers. It's anyone's game here. We really don't know. It's very difficult to tell because they could just. They may just have not got to that question yet, so it's hard to tell. We are starting to get to the end of it. We've only got about 10 minutes left, roughly, and yeah, gee, we can see here that okay, Gabriela is still in the lead from what I can see, followed by Jeff Michael, Anup, and so on from there. Wow. Okay. Maybe we can jump over and have a look at John Lim's screen, my fellow Aussie, and see how John is coming along. Okay. Okay. So he's put everything on one tab. We can see a lot of the participants earlier have created a separate tab, and they've done it all separately, but we can see here that John's done everything in one sheet, which is probably saving him a lot of time because he's not having to go backwards and forwards from one tab to another. So it's a really different strategy. Okay. Maybe we can have a look at some of John's formulas that he's using there. Okay, a bit of hard coding. He's using the weekday function again. Yep, yeah, okay. A few nested formulas there. Yep. Looking good. Okay. All right, maybe we can, yeah.
Danielle, when these cases are built, are there certain, like, I'll call them traps, right? Like what might be your first intuition to have this type of assumption that will then like blow up answers later? Like, are there pieces like this that are built into it that present like unique challenges? Because sometimes I'm looking at some of the scoring and I feel like I see folks who are getting a lot of stuff in there, but maybe their points aren't coming up yet. I wonder, do they have a bad assumption in there? And once they resolve that, that's going to correctly solve some of their answers. What should we?
Yeah, there's not a lot of traps or tricks generally in these competitions. It's usually fairly sort of straightforward, and it rewards you for building a good, well-structured model, and it kind of walks you through the questions. And there are times when there are certain things that people might get wrong, and you can see by the multiple choice, if none of your answers are there, then you know that you've done something wrong, and that actually helps you later on down the track. So there's not a lot of there's no trick questions. It's difficult, it's tough, it is really, a lot of these questions are really tough, and this is a particularly curly one. But it's got to be difficult. It's got to be challenging, because there are some of these people are just the top financial modelers in the world. And there is a huge gap between the average financial modeler and these top financial modelers. And quite often there's only a couple of points between them. And so these questions have got to be really, really difficult to see, who is really going to take the championship for this year. So we are about halfway through the year, and the prize pool is about $20,000 for the end of the year. So the scores accumulate throughout the season, but there's different prizes. There's newcomers prize, there's all sorts of prizes. So for people entering the Financial Modelling World Cup, if you do well, you can win a lot of, there's quite a bit of prize money up for grabs. Tonight, of course, people are competing for fame and glory and just for being part of this incredible competition. But if you compete in the Financial Modelling World Cup that comes out every month, you can win some amazing prizes. So we're getting down to the wire now. It's starting to get really exciting. So we might jump over and have a look at the last two participants. Jason, have a look at Jason Weber's screen and jump in to see how Jason is. Okay. Oh, not looking too good at the moment. Okay, don't panic. It is obviously, it's probably just one thing that's gone wrong. He's, maybe just changed something and everything has changed. Okay, all right. He's doing all right.
It definitely makes you nervous when you suddenly have like errors across your entire worksheet, and it's like, what did I do?
Yeah. It is pretty scary when you see something like that. But thing is, quite often, it's just one single thing. Maybe you've typed in a piece of text when the formulas was expecting a number. Something like that is pretty common. So it seems like Jason is doing okay. Yep, he's coming on all right. Wow, Gabriela is still in the lead. She's still, and John Lim is next, followed by, they've all pretty, the scoring is looking the same. So yeah, still, and Andrew is only 10 points. Andrew Ngai is only 10 points behind. So it really could be anyone's at this stage. Okay, lastly, let's have a look at, so we're having a look now at, let's have a look at how Stephanie is doing. So Stephanie is, let's see how she is going. So she is in the last place at the moment. Let's see how she is. She's coming along. Let's have a look at Stephanie's. Come on,
And
Stephanie.
Danielle, I will say coming into this, I kind of thought there would be like one person who would just like pull ahead and blow everyone away. But as you just pointed out, right, the scoring has really tightened up. So some folks who I think were behind by 200 points, they're now within 100, within 75 points. It really feels to me like they're within striking range. As you pointed out, we're now looking at Stephanie, who's a little bit behind in points, but I think she's just doubled. She was down in the 100s. She's now pushing into the 200s. It feels like her model's starting to come together.
Yeah, they know that they we've got about 4 minutes to go, so we are really they know that now is the time to be putting in their answers. You know, it's now or never, so they need to, if you put nothing into the cell, then if you put nothing in the answers, then it's really you're not going to get any marks at all. So they're gonna, you probably will see that they will start to put in some, okay. Yeah, I can't see any changes just yet. Yeah, I have, the scores are so close. I'm sure that the guys in the back end have got, if it ends up being a tie, I'm not quite sure how we do that. So the three of Gabriela, John and Michael have all got the same scores. So who knows? It could come down to bonus time points. That is often what happens. I know that a couple of them have in the past have done really well on bonus time points. If they finish early, then they get a whole lot of extra points, and that would not show. So it really could be anyone. It could be any of them. So we're getting pretty close to the end. There's only a couple of minutes to go.
And one thing to add, Danielle, as well, for all of our viewers, if you haven't been to smash.gg, go check it out. We are connected with this competition, this particular exhibition over there. I believe we're going to continue to do that in the future. So you can go over there. You can actually build a fantasy team. So for anyone who doesn't know, you can go in and see who the competitors are in the next competition, and you can choose the ones for your team, air quotes, and predict the winners. And so I think there was a lot of support over there for Andrew from the beginning, which is really interesting to see him in fourth. A lot of support for Stephanie representing the USA as well. We see she's in 8th right now, really hoping to see her close the gap in the last 2 minutes. And I think Gabriela, she had some support as well, but it's kind of the dark horse to see her at the top of the board. I think is really interesting because that wasn't what Smash.gg was predicting. So absolutely go over there, show some love, make your predictions for the next competition. And even here, as I'm talking, now we see Gabriela move to 2nd, Michael Jarman getting in some answers within the last 2 minutes. He's now pulling ahead.
Okay, yeah, okay. It looks like it's Michael Jarman is quite far ahead. It is possible that he has already finished and that he got the bonus early points. That is quite possible. So we might, let's jump over to the scoreboard and see just in these last minute or so and see how they're doing. So yeah, I can see they're really close. Michael is just so far ahead, but Gabriela, Jeff and John are all doing quite well as well. So at this stage, it looks as if it's going to be Michael, followed by Gabriela, but we will see. There are only a couple of minutes to go. I don't know who's going to win this.
Danielle, what's your strategy here if you're Andrew? He's got a couple of wrong answers. Do you push ahead and try to answer additional things? Do you go back and see what you got wrong on 6 and 7 and see if you can get a correct answer there? How do you close this out?
Yeah. With the multiple choice, I would say just pick one. In this case, though, he there's probably not a huge amount of difference that's going to make at this stage, with only a couple of minutes to go. This is, it's those last couple of minutes that's just so stressful. I hope they're doing okay. Yeah, okay. I think we are. I think we're done. We are done. I think it's time.
That's our official time. That's it.
This is it. It's done. Okay. We still need to calculate the scoring. What we see on the screen is not necessarily the final results. So we just have to give it a minute, I think. That was incredible. That was amazing.
I feel like I'm seeing some score shifting, like folks are getting their last answers in.
Yeah, they're still because of the bonus points. They're still kind of.
So walk us through that, Danielle. I know a lot of the scoring was live. I think we're about to go back to the main room, but when we get over there, we'd love to hear how does the bonus points work and how's that calculated?
Recording in progress.
So awesome job by everyone. I think we have everyone back in the main room from the breakouts.
Oh, you guys look exhausted. I'm not surprised.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, you look pretty relaxed. How are you feeling? Look at you all. Wow.
So one thing for all of our viewers out there, the live scoring shows correct answers, right? Like, because it's binary, it's either right or it's wrong for each of the questions. But there are bonus points for being done early. That's currently being calculated. So that's a manual calculation on the back end. So even though we showed a final score in our last screenshot, there's some opportunity for that to shift. And that's happening in the background right now. So we're very excited to see where does it come in, where do the additional points come in. And I'm excited to hear from some of the participants on where they felt the biggest challenges were.
Yeah, maybe we can start with Gabriela. How did you go? What do you think? You look, you did all right?
Not great. Well, I guess the hardest part was this parts about stocks or inventories. But maybe this is the moment that I finished.
How about you, Michael? You're looking pretty relaxed there.
Yeah. I tend to relax when I'm modeling. Yeah, it's very tricky. I thought of I think like the fact you had to sort of model daily for a lot of different things. That was very
tough.
tricky. I tried to avoid doing that for as long as possible because I didn't want my Excel to get too slow. So I just started doing that at the end and got a little bit of the way. I had to remind myself how to do weekdays and things like that in Excel. But yeah.
Well done. Okay, and Stephanie, how are you feeling?
No, I'm okay, but didn't do much. Was trying to fix. I think I was trying to fix some of the int and it was not working. So.
How did you go, Jason? You feeling good?
Yeah, a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be. Andrew and team threw in a nice curveball in the negative growth rate on the population, so that threw me off a bit. And try to figure out how to get that right. So that took me a while. I got a bit stuck there, and then didn't get too much past the revenue.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling, Jeff?
Wow, keep thinking how to figure out how the questions is it. So might we continue after this?
Well, I think the results are ready. So we might have to hear from Andrew, Anup, and John after we hear about the results. So Andrew is going to make the big announcement.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that, or to discuss the correct maybe way to approach the results. As we were looking into your files and into your scoring, you kind of saw that sometimes people got lost in not making one question. And for example, for one of you, there was a mistake in question number 6 that led to a mistake in question number 7. And as a result, this did not give you like all the full points. Still, you were able to move on. You were able to get extra points, the next ones. And basically that was the way the model was designed. If you cannot make the perfect score, it's fine, move on, just get the model done. And the tactical trick there was actually that it was probably quite difficult in terms of modeling to model the third shift of people to the third shift of workers to model into the forecast. So actually, we have designed the case that you might have skipped that amidst 100 points in total that were influenced by that, and still get a time bonus point. However, it turned out that the case was more difficult than the 40 minutes would suggest, and actually no one was close to getting the time bonus point. Sorry guys, I wasn't meant to be that cruel. But you know, the last time when we had a previous battle between Diarmid Early and Joseph Lau, Dim smashed the model in 13 minutes when they had 30. Even I was kind of testing that. It took me like 18, knowing what has to be where. And this time was just to, try to make this, as exciting as possible. So
and you are dragging it out, Andrew. You are dragging it out. You are keeping everyone in suspense. Come on now, tell us who was the winner.
YouTube's shaking their fist.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's let our team just pull on the results to the screen. And as you see, it's been a very, very, very tight battle, and it seems that the first place goes to Michael Jarman, winning this with 700 points, being perfect up until question 13. Right now, it seems that Andrew and Ngai from the UK scored second, being much further down the line. But it seems that a couple of questions for you were not really, getting in as they should. And third place goes to John Lim, 625 points. Great result. And there is a tie for the fourth between Gabriela and Jeff. So basically, it seems that Gabriela went a little bit further than Jeff, but the answer to question 12 was not correct. So I would say that's a very, very tight battle. Maybe not a usual setup that you have for the Financial Modeling World Cup. So typically, it's a 2-hour. 2-hour competition, 3 cases. This one was a bit, condensed and a little bit of, pressure from the fact that you were viewed by the thousands of viewers across the world. And yeah, guys, we will be waiting for you for the next, to join us at the next Financial Modeling World Cup stage, the regular stage that's going to be taking place on from June 25th to June 28th, like anytime that suits you. You can log in, solve the cases for 2 hours, just get a ticket at our website, fmworldcup.com. Somebody told that it's, currently crashed so due to excess demand. It's going to be up, hopefully, very soon. But we're really excited about the amount of, interest to the game and to this event. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys, for taking part, and thank you for a great host that took the floor today and guided us through this great event. Yeah. So Daniel, Adam, anything to add from your side?
No, but I would love to hear from Andrew how he felt, and Anup and John. We didn't hear from them. So Andrew, how did you find the competition?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be long because we got to read the question before we started, and there were a lot of things to model, so it was obvious that I had to be as fast as I could. So that was what I was trying to do the whole time, I guess. And I know I got a couple of those wrong because it didn't match the hint, but I just didn't have time to really check it. So yeah. But yeah, it was definitely a fun case. And yeah, it was quite interesting that you have to build kind of 2 separate sections, like a monthly and a daily bit, and really think about what's the best way to do that. So yeah, I quite like the question.
That's great. How are you feeling, Anup? Happy with how you did? Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, no, still muted.
Yeah, this Zoom thing. Okay, so yeah, I was very confident at the beginning, but then with the day part, I had to change my strategy, build additional calculations. Yeah, that really threw me off a little bit.
That's great. And John, lastly, how did you go? Are you happy with how you did?
Yeah, I did as good as I could. So that's anyone could ask for. I thought the case study, just thanks to all the question designers and question testers, I thought that was a really good case study. I don't know if you guys will be releasing it publicly, but it's a sort of case study I think that's really good for aspiring modelers to actually practice on, because there is, as a lot of the guys mentioned, lots of different modeling techniques that you need to do all in the one model. So so it was really good to have a
when
go.
that is going to be publicly made available. Yeah. So
it's actually it's there already on our website. That's reportedly crashed due to excess demand, but it before the event. Yeah,
we crashed the internet. No, but it was good question design. So I encourage everyone to actually have a go for themselves as well.
Yeah, thanks, John. Well done to all of the participants. You all did fantastically well, and special congratulations to Michael Jarman. That's fantastic. Well done, everybody, and thank you to everybody that's watched and joined in. Thank you for all of your fantastic comments and all your great participation. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all again soon. So be sure to sign up for the Financial Modelling World Cup on the 25th of June. We'd love to see you there. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.